It's the last dance for the Super Eagles of Nigeria as the Eagles aim to reach the 2026 FIFA World Cup in United States, Mexico, and Canada. Nigeria played their last game at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium right behind us here against the Leopards of Benin Republic. Even if Nigeria wins, the World Cup qualification is not solely in the hands of the Super Eagles. The Doc joined me again. The last time he was here, it was certain the Eagles will win that game, and they did win. But unfortunately, things have not smiled too favorably for the Eagles as went to South Africa and did not get a result. Also joining me for this big preview is Mr. Festus Dada, a very, a good man. One man who has seen plenty qualifiers, who has seen the Eagles fail again in this stadium over and over again. The Doc, it looks like every time we come here, we only have one person who has always seen the Eagles fail in this stadium.
Yes.
Last was AJ, now it's Festus.
Yeah, I've also seen them fail twice, multiple times. Hopefully this time is different. I think we've only won one game at this stadium for the World Cup qualifiers, and that was against Rwanda, the last time we played here. So hopefully we get our second win, and at the end of the day, on Tuesday night, we should be celebrating here, that we've topped the group and qualified to the World.
Well, let's start first with this game. Yeah. Unfortunately, guys, the Eagles suffered what in 1 year anniversary after that unfaithful incident in Libya. Yeah. We had something similar, not entirely similar, but the Eagles had to, of course, go back and not land in Nigeria here. They had to return to Rwanda after they are playing at a crack and all of that. Sad because he had to delay their arrival. They finally arrived. We'll have probably 2 training sessions, not what Nigerians would have expected. Do you think it will be a blow going into that game?
I mean, yes, obviously, looking at the fact that the away team, Benin, arrived before us. They came in yesterday evening, and Nigeria was expected to come in at night as well. But while they were flying in, there was a crack on the windscreen. The pilot had to divert and turn back to Rwanda to land. Of course, safety first. But these are professional players. One would expect that they should get behind that and focus on the game against Benin. The obvious thing that would happen is that it will affect the amount of time they can train. And maybe that might be the excuse. But we should take it one game at a time and hope for the best.
Trust me, Asensi, I'll just feel that Super Eagles of Nigeria will have to win this game. You have to look at the stars that they have, first of all, that they are doing the jobs in their club side. But the fact that they delayed their return to this city, who is going to play a huge factor. We saw their faces when they came, tired faces, the likes of Amas, Nwabali, not looking good. They have to have, first of all, good rest before they now have just one training session. Probably, if they came in earlier, it would be 2 training sessions for them to understand themselves. And players that did not even get to play in the previous game against Lesotho will just have enough time just to feel the ball ahead of the big game on Tuesday. I'm really skeptical against Benin Republic. This is a side that the coach knows the Super Eagles very well. The Super Eagles need this game, but not as much as Benin Republic that are topping the table.
Well, of course, it's no news that the Beninois are top the table with 17 points going into this final day for Benin. A win will take them to the World Cup regardless of what happens elsewhere in South Africa. Now, it is important that the Eagles also note this, that the Beninois will not come here to play. When both sides faced in reverse fixture, 2-1, they defeated us in Ivory Coast in a neutral ground. General, like you rightly said, knows the boys very well. He's qualified Nigeria to the last World Cup. In fact, the last time we reached the World Cup, it was, of course, General that took us to the World Cup. And it was in this same stadium, of course, that we scored and then went to the World Cup. Knowing fully well that this man knows us. He knows the players. He gave some of these boys their debut to also play for Nigeria. Should Nigerians be worried?
Nigerians should be worried. I will not lie to you. I talked about head coach General, and then also the fact that the previous games of the Super Eagles, the antecedent, it has not been good. Look at how the boys struggled against Lesotho. You cannot beat Lesotho conveniently. You're winning that game 2-1. How much on Benin Republic side is stopping the table? So many reasons why I should be worried, you should be worried, Ademola should be worried, every Nigerian should be worried. We just have to hope on the fact that this is a Benin side that we have beaten 3-0 before. This is the same Benin that was in the AFCON qualifiers. But this is this Benin side that might actually relax, that say, okay, we are topping the table and then let's just see what these boys can come and do. We need the Super Eagles of Nigeria to surprise us and pick up a very gallant win. We know the permutations, how it might shape up, but 2-0 and then pray South Africa gets to drop points against Rwanda.
Yes, I agree. It's going to be a very tough match. I agree with Mr. Festus as well. But what I would also say is that Benin know that a draw could make them qualify to the World Cup if South Africa fails to defeat Rwanda by more than one goal. So we'll be under pressure. If we end up drawing this match, Nigeria would not be at the World Cup, obviously. Either as the top of the group or as one of the best second place teams that will go for the playoff. So we know we are under pressure to deliver and to win. Genetro also knows this, and that's why he's going to tell his players, I mean, be solid defensively, for sure the Super Eagles of Nigeria, stop them from scoring, and maybe you can just get one on the break, and you might make history for the first time in the history. The Beninois can go to the World Cup, and these players want to write their name in the record book to be the players that led Benin to the first ever World Cup.
Well, it will be interesting to see how the Beninois will be able to reach their first ever World Cup. Let's note that Benin have not lost a single game in their last 3 matches in the World Cup qualifiers, and they've scored pretty important goals also, including a 4-1 win in one of those games they play. But guys, let's come to the Super Eagles now. Did we leave it too late? Let me start from there. Did we leave it too late, considering the fact that match day 1 and 2, we picked up just 2 points. Now, match day 3 and 4, we picked up just a single point. And after that, we had 4 points for match day 5 and 6, and 4 points also for match day 7 and 8. Already we've had 3 points for match day 9. We've not done it 6 over 6 in any of the match days in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Did we leave it late? And could it be our biggest Achilles heel if we don't qualify for the World Cup?
Yes, obviously. Looking at the group when the draws was made, one naturally expected that Nigeria would have defeated Lesotho, home and away. Zimbabwe at least get 4 points, if they can get 6 points. Defeat Rwanda, which we did home and away, and we just started poorly. In 2023, some could also argue that, looking at the fact that we started the qualifiers over 2 years ago in 2023, we started on the very slow notes against Lesotho here, played the 1-1 draw, against Zimbabwe away, 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw against South Africa at home, 2-1 loss against Benin in the neutral venue in Cote d'Ivoire, where we just got to the final of the AFCON. You know, not until we had Eric Shell, who has done well, you know, regardless of the fact that he started poorly with the 1-1 draw against Zimbabwe at home. We should have won that game. People probably would have been in a different position right now. When South Africa do or die match, you know, I had opportunities to get points off South Africa, knowing the fact that 3-point deduction would come into them. But we also played the 1-1 draw against them. South Africa obviously used the pitch to their advantage and so many criteria as well in that game. But yeah, last game against Lesotho, we also need that we should score as much goals as possible to maybe increase our ranking in the playoff spot. We also failed to do that. So we've been given so many second chances, we've made so many mistakes, and it's going to be a miracle for us to qualify to the World Cup. Looking at Group C is the only group right now that no team has cracked 20 points. And we have Nigeria, we have South Africa, we have Benin. In my opinion, none of these teams, as a fan, none of these teams deserve to be at the World Cup, except maybe Benin, because they played almost all the away games in neutral grounds. So, for all the home games, I mean, in neutral venue. So basically, the home games are like away games for them. But yeah, they showed the fighting spirit. They want to be at the World Cup. The experienced coach Genetro wants to be at the World Cup. We saw it at the airport yesterday. We saw them travel with their band, 2 buses with their van. So they mean business. They know that a draw will be enough for them. For Nigeria, we're leaving it too late. If we qualify, it's going to be a miracle. I'll be happy as a Nigerian. But yeah, I will not be surprised if South Africa just win Rwanda 1-0, and the result in this game might not matter. I don't want that to happen, but fingers crossed. Let's hoping for the best. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm hoping for the best this time around.
Well, I won't lie. I think we actually left it late because we have to look at the fact that you go back to the game that the Super Eagles had. I think during the Finidi era, I won't blame Finidi so much. I think we should have still left Finidi because he still had the chance of giving us more points. You look at the games where he dropped points. It's understandable. Benin Republic away from home is a tough side. Yes.
In a neutral ground.
But it's Benin Republic. It's Benin. You look at the coach. It's something that we could look at. Then I have to look at South Africa. It's South Africa as well. And then you can also remember the fact that Super Eagles, NFF, Nigerian football fans built their love on Finidi George because he was given the contract. So constant change of coaches has led us to where we are right now. Now, fast forward to us taking on Benin Republic next tomorrow. It's going to be very difficult. I'm not going to lie to you because we have to look at the fact that we have to win our game and hope that South Africa drops points against Rwanda, which is very difficult. This is a South Africa side that dropped points against Zimbabwe, that had to take out time to apologize to their fans before they entered the dressing room. They are still going to play at home, and you feel they're going to lose that game. Let's be honest with ourselves. We messed it up during the early stages of this qualifiers. We just have to hope that the boys will get the job done here and pray that South Africa drops points as well.
Well, let's take it to Coach Eric Sekuchel. You like rightly mentioned, Finidi George. You know, he came in. We have 3 coaches in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. I'm sure it's a history. It's a history in Nigerian football history. First was Pesero, then Finidi George, and now Eric Sekuchel. But let's be honest with ourselves. 11 points from a possible 15 points for Eric Chell is not done badly. This man is yet to taste defeat in the 5 games he's played in the World Cup qualifiers. He's been able to win. All the 3 wins we got in the World Cup qualifiers was from him. And 2 draws. Yes, maybe the Zimbabwe draw is quite not forgivable. But with all of these, Nigerians are criticizing him too much, saying that he's not done the right thing for Nigeria. And if we fail to qualify, he should be let go.
Well, I'm not going to crucify him, and he should not be let go because Eric Chell has proven himself in Mali. From the start you've said he hasn't lost any game, so he's still proving himself. So you want to say that you're going to justify his credibility as a coach just with these qualifiers that he did not start? I'll say that's wrong. You could try and criticize him when the AFCON starts, but AFCON is still, let's say, months ahead. If he doesn't get to pick up maximum points tomorrow, or if he picks up maximum points tomorrow and South Africa gets the job done, still stick with him. He still has like some months to process this job because in the AFCON, everyone's eyes will be on head coach Eric Chell. The messed up or the issues that you had in this AFCON, these World Cup qualifiers, people forget it. They're going to look at this AFCON. So I'm just looking at the boys, hopefully they qualify for the World Cup, but leave Eric Chell out of it.
Yeah, so I feel like if we had started the qualifiers with this form that Eric Chell has brought in, we probably would have qualified for the World Cup right now. Obviously, we would have qualified for the World Cup. So I'm not going to blame him entirely. I'm going to blame the people that led to changes of so many coaches over 3 years, and that's who I'm going to blame. Can he still qualify for the World Cup? Is very possible, and that's why I'm going to wait till the end of the qualification series and before I assign blame. If Eric Chell loses this game against Benin woefully, I'm going to criticize him, obviously. So that's the point. Let me wait first. Let's see if he can. If he qualifies, he's the best coach in the world. If he does not qualify, he's going to get some stick from Nigerians.
Well, Doc, take us through the permutations of Nigeria reaching the World Cup. There are a lot of permutations.
Yeah.
In fact, there are a lot of if. And if you're writing a thesis right now, you would have been, the number of if you would have used would have been a whole lot. But take us through the permutations of how Nigeria can reach the World Cup.
Right. Okay, looking at the current group standing right now, maybe they can display that on the screen right now. Benin top with 17 points. South Africa second with 15 points. Nigeria third with 14 points. These 3 teams can still make the World Cup on the final match day, right? For South Africa to qualify for the World Cup, right? South Africa needs to defeat Rwanda. Score as much goals as possible, defeat Rwanda, even if it's won by a goal to nil, and hope that Benin fails to defeat Nigeria. That's one way they can qualify for the World Cup. If they lose their game against Rwanda, either Benin or Nigeria would be at the World Cup. Now, South Africa can still win their game against Rwanda and still fail to qualify if Benin defeat Nigeria or play a draw against Nigeria. If Benin plays a draw against Nigeria and South Africa fails to defeat Rwanda by more than 1 goal, Benin will be above South Africa on 18 points with a draw against Nigeria, and they will be on a superior goal difference. And that would matter at the end of the day, right? So South Africa needs to win and win well, and hope that Benin fails to win against Nigeria. If they draw, that may be enough for them. For Benin to qualify to the World Cup, just win Nigeria. Win your game, they'll be at the World Cup. A draw for them could also take them through if South Africa fails to defeat Rwanda by more than 1 goal. For Nigeria to qualify to the World Cup, we have to win Benin by exactly 1-0 or more than 2 goals, right? And hope that South Africa fails to defeat Rwanda. Why do we have to beat them by exactly 1-0 by more than 2 goals? If we defeat Benin 2-1, we'll be level with Benin on the same number of points, 17 points, same number of goals for, goals against, goal difference, and head-to-head, because we played away 2-1. I'll also be winning away here 2-1. At home here 2-1. So we need to win at least 1-0 or win by more than 2 goals and hope that South Africa fails to defeat Rwanda in the final game. That's how Nigeria will qualify. That's going as the top of the group. There's also a case where we qualify as one of the best runners-up across these 9 groups in the qualifiers.
But that one,
the
calculator.
So I don't have to
bring out your calculator.
Bring out the calculator
And press.
And things might also change as we are doing this video right now. The ranking of second best placed
will
teams
change after the round of games.
At the stance right now, looking at the adjustment of the Eritrea factor, because Eritrea withdrew from this competition, from the qualifiers. After the ranking of second place team, CAF has decided that they sent a memo, although they have not announced it officially yet, but they sent a memo, and the memo is being leaked right now, that the result against bottom place team, Oman would not count, would not matter. And that's why they're looking at the fact that Nigeria only got 2 points.
Yes.
Zimbabwe will finish bottom of the group, and that's what happens in the final game. I only got 2 points from them. So if we end up finishing with 17 points, 2 points deducted, will be on 15 points. That might be enough to take us to the playoff. But this is the current standing right now of teams on the playoff spot. Their teams are above 16 points already.
Gabon?
Yes.
Cameroon
on 14 points. Gabon doesn't they draw to get the 15 points, and they have a good goal difference. We have teams on 13 points. Madagascar on 13 points. DR Congo on 13 points as well. They also need to get a win, and they're uncatchable, unstoppable. So it's going to take a miracle we have been given so many lifelines, and now we need another lifeline yet again to even make the playoff or to qualify as top of the group. Now, if we look back and we don't qualify to the World Cup, let's focus on the AFCON and just agree that the better team qualified to the World Cup. Probably would not have gotten to this case if South Africa did not make that error. They'll probably be on 17 points now. A draw for them, they're already through. So yeah.
Well, it's interesting to see how it will happen, but you've heard from the doc how the Eagles can actually qualify for the World Cup. Now, Festus, no Ademola Lookman for Nigeria's game. Where the thinking cap of the coach of the Super Eagles right now? What players will you be likely starting for the game against Benin Republic that will give Nigerians at least 3 goals? I want you to be that man now to give us 3 goals on Tuesday. I don't want a 1-0. I know these boys cannot inspire confidence because they've not scored 3, but be that man.
Well, it's going to be very, very easy in the absence of Ademola Lookman. No disrespect to Ademola Lookman, but I think this is the right time where we'll get to see players play their desired position. Take Moses Simon to the left. Chukwueze plays the right. He uses his left foot to attack. Then someone like Simon Moses can cut him with his right. The same way he played in that AFCON that he was so superb. In the goalkeeping aspect, where people are beginning to raise speculations against Stanley Nwabali that has been very effective for the Super Eagles so far, I still feel that doesn't mean he should take him over as number 1. He still remains the number 1 Super Eagles goalkeeper. So Nwabali should still be there. The defense liner should still have someone like probably Calvin Bass, or we could just go with a wide back, but let's still have the same back line that's played the last game against the Lesotho. Then in the midfield, let's see something different. You can see a midfield of probably Wilfred Ndidi and Christian Tsuzuche. No disrespect to Alex, he will be super player. But let's see more of Christian Tsuzuche. He did well in Spain. He's yet to show that glimpse with Crystal Palace, but he's a superb midfielder. So Christian Tsuzuche and Wilfred Ndidi in that midfield. Then, like I said earlier, the wings, Moses Simon playing down the left, Chukwueze playing down the right, 2 strikers, Tolu and step forward, Victor Osimhen. Then I believe we can get the goals.
Well, for me, knowing Shekusha well, I know he's not going to make a lot of changes to the starting lineup. So I would say the same starting lineup that started against Lesotho, but just 3 changes, right? David Tolu starts from the bench, and Akwa starts the game. Who else again? We would have maybe, hopefully, we get Ademola who cannot play, so we get to see Samuel Chukwueze and Mutu Simon down the wings, and maybe in defense, because we have fresh players now coming in. I think Olashegun is also coming in. We would have maybe Benjamin Frederick starting with Ekong, because he's the captain and he can inspire the team at the end of the day. And that might just be the change that I'm expecting to see.
Well, it is interesting to see how the Eagles will attack the game on Tuesday against the Leopards of Benin Republic. For Benin, a win for them or a draw, and if results elsewhere favors them, they will be through to their first ever World Cup. The last time I asked the doc to give me a prediction, he said it was 4-1. But we had to score the scrappiest goal we score in the World Cup qualifiers. I'm going to ask you again. Yeah. Your score prediction.
Africa qualifiers, just score anyhow. You saw how Bat scored in South Africa. Just score, no VAR. Scrappy goal, no scrappy goal. Win Benin 1-0. Go to the World Cup. South Africa will play a draw. So that's my prediction. I don't want to put some money up and say that Nigeria win 3-0, 4-0 because Benin will not be here to play. So score 1-0, park the bus, and could go to the World Cup.
Well, I'll follow what you say. Benin will not be here to play. Benin will score here. Wow. Benin will score here, which is going to make this place very interesting. 90 minutes, very entertaining.
Interesting football.
Interesting
so
football.
Whether the Eagles go to the World Cup.
See,
let's see. The problem of Super Eagles is people in Akwa Ibom. It's the people in Akwa Ibom.
People in South. Let's enjoy the game. I see the game ending 2-1. It's going to be a thriller from the first minute up until the final whistle.
Well,
with 2-1, with 2-1, who stays either first or second in the group?
It will be interesting.
I think cards will not matter.
No, we still have to wait on South Africa's game.
We'll be level with Benin, regardless of what South Africa's game. Yeah, so if South Africa wins their game and Nigeria defeat Benin 2-1, who's going to be second, who's going to be third? We'll be level on goal difference, go for, go against, and all of that. So I think at that point, cards will not matter. Yellow cards and disciplinary records will not matter. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, we'll wait to see how it pans out on the final day of the FIFA World Cup qualifier. It is Nigeria who take on the Leopards of Benin Republic on Tuesday here at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. Can Nigeria reach the FIFA World Cup? Well, fingers crossed. I will continue to pray and hope that the boys who have not turned up in the last 9 games will be able to somehow turn up on match day 10. Will the Eagles be at the World Cup, or will it be the Leopards who celebrate their first ever World Cup? Or it will be South Africa who will laugh at us from their houses and say you just went there to have fun and reach yet another World Cup. Our fingers will remain crossed, But for Nigeria, we wish the Eagles all the best. Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios.